Hey, Vikings faithful. Skull Nation, what's good? It's your passionate purple and gold brother here, fired up to dive into the latest Vikings NFL draft buzz. Today, we're talking wide receivers. Yeah, that sneaky position group that's got us all whispering about what's next for Minnesota in 2025. Teaser alert. The Vikings might not grab a receiver with their first pick, but trust me, something's brewing in those middle and later rounds that could shake up our roster. So, buckle up. Why are we even looking at wideouts when we've got studs like Jefferson and Addison? Let's break it down together. Picture this. Justin Jefferson torching defenses for 1,400 yards last season. Jordan Addison snagging 911, and Jalen Nailor stepping up with over 500. Combined, that's 2,800 yards and 26 touchdowns of pure Vikings firepower. We're stacked, right? Well, hold up. The team just signed Tim Jones and Rondale Moore to fill gaps left by Trent Sherfield and Brandon Powell. But here's the kicker. Only Jefferson and Addison are locked in past 2025. With Addison's off-field hiccups, will he even get that big second contract? Depth's the name of the game, folks, and I'm itching to see what Kwesi Adofo-Mensah has up his sleeve. Now let's set the scene. It's March 29th, 2025, and the NFL draft is just a month away. April 24th can't come soon enough. The Vikings are sitting pretty for 2025, no doubt, but 2026? That's where the whispers start. You can never have too many weapons, and this draft class is loaded with wide receiver talent from top to bottom. Will the Vikings go early or wait it out? That's the suspense I'm living for. What do you think, Skull fam? Drop your predictions in the comments because this is where the story gets juicy. Alright, let's zoom in on the strategy, Vikings fans. Word on the street, and by street, I mean the Star Tribune's Ben Goesling on Vikings Happy Hour, is that our boys have been sniffing around the wide receiver pool during this pre-draft madness. Keep an eye on wide receiver depth, he said, and I'm nodding like crazy over here. Rondale Moore's a nice pickup, sure, but it's short-term vibes. The real question is, who's the next big thing behind Jefferson? That's the puzzle piece we're hunting for. Think about it. Jordan Addison's heading into year 3, and soon we'll be sweating over his contract talks. Will he stay? Will he go? The Vikings aren't blind to this. They know wide receivers have been dropping like gold in these drafts lately. Imagine this. A fresh, young talent stepping up to either boost that Jefferson-Addison duo or, dare I say it, step into Addison's shoes if things go sideways. It's not a screaming need, but it's a back-pocket move that's got me hyped. Here's where it gets real, fam. The Vikings don't need to swing big early. Maybe not even on day 2. But those middle and later rounds? That's where the magic could happen. Picture a sleeper pick lighting up US Bank Stadium in purple. Can you feel the tension building? Who's on your radar for that spot? Hit me up in the comments. Let's dream up this roster together. Skull Squad. Let's talk prospects. Because oh boy, the Vikings have been busy. They've reportedly met with some serious wide receiver talent, and I'm geeking out over the possibilities. First up, Maryland's Ty Felton, 6 feet 2 inches, 96 catches, 1,124 yards, and 9 touchdowns last season. This guy's a big-time athlete who could go day 2. Can you see him stretching the field for J.J. McCarthy? My heart's racing just thinking about it. Then there's Utah's Dorian Singer. He had 702 yards last year, but rewind to 2022 at Arizona, 1,105 yards as a sophomore. This dude's got pedigree, and I'm wondering if he's the sneaky steal we need. And don't sleep on Baylor's Monterey Baldwin, 5 feet 9 inches of pure speed, dropping at least 478 yards and 4 touchdowns each of the last 3 years. Small but mighty. Could he be our next spark plug? Which of these guys has you buzzing, Vikings fans? The best part? These are just the names we know about. Between the Senior Bowl, Shrine Bowl, NFL Combine, Pro Days, and Top 30 visits, the Vikings are meeting hundreds of prospects. Wide receiver might not top the draft board, but it's simmering there, ready to boil over. What's your gut telling you? Early pick or late round gem? Let's debate it below. Alright, let's rewind the tape a bit, Vikings Nation. Last season, our wide receiver crew was a highlight reel. Jefferson, Addison, and Nailor brought the heat, no question. But losing Sherfield and Powell? That stung a little. Enter Tim Jones and Rondale Moore, solid moves, but they're not locked in long-term. That's why I'm obsessed with this draft talk. It's about building for tomorrow, not just today. Goesling dropped a nugget that's got me thinking. They've sniffed around in that WR world a little bit in the pre-draft process. That's not just chatter, folks. That's a clue. The Vikings are plotting something, and I'm here for every second of the suspense. Are they looking for a successor, a depth piece, or maybe a secret weapon to unleash in 2026? My mind's spinning. Yours too? Here's the deal. This draft class is a goldmine for receivers. From day 1 studs to day 3 diamonds, there's talent everywhere. The Vikings could sit tight early, let the board fall, and snag a game-changer later. Can you imagine the roar at training camp when that pick steps up? Tell me your wildest draft dreams in the comments. I'm all ears. Skull Warriors, let's get tactical. The Vikings only have 4 picks in this draft. First round, a third round compensatory, a 5th from Cleveland, and a 6th after a trade. Slim pickings, right? But here's the beauty. Wide receiver depth doesn't need a first-round splash. We could strike gold in those middle rounds, and I'm practically jumping out of my seat thinking about it. Picture this scenario. Day 2 rolls around, and Ty Felton's still on the board. Boom, Vikings swoop in. Or maybe day 3, and Monterey Baldwin's speed is too tempting to pass up. The point is, we don't need to burn our top pick to make waves. Kwesi's a chess master, and I'm trusting him to play this smart. What's your take? Go big early or play the long game? And let's not forget, free agency's already patched some holes. Jonathan Allen and Javon Hargrave beefed up our D-line, so the pressure's off to draft there. That frees us up to dream about receivers. The suspense is killing me. Will we pull the trigger? Shout your thoughts below, because this is our story. Vikings fam. Hey, Purple Posse. Let's talk big picture. The Vikings are set for 2025. Jefferson's a superstar, Addison's electric, Naylor's growing, and Moore's got wheels. But 2026? That's the horizon I'm staring at. Only Jefferson and Addison are under contract past this year, and Addison's future's a question mark with those early career stumbles. Depth's our insurance policy, and this draft's the perfect time to cash in. Every year, the NFL draft pumps out wide receiver talent like it's a factory. Dozens of intriguing prospects from round 1 to day 3. The Vikings don't need a savior at the position, but a smart pickup could future-proof us. Imagine a rookie learning from Jefferson, ready to explode in a year or 2. That's the kind of storytelling that gets me pumped. What about you? Here's the hook. It's not about now, it's about staying ahead of the game. Will the Vikings gamble on a mid-round stud, or hold off and risk it? The clock's ticking toward April 24th, and I'm glued to every rumor. What's your bold prediction, Skull Crew? Hit the comments. I need to hear it. Skull Nation, let's spotlight Ty Felton for a sec. This Maryland beast, 6 feet 2 inches, 96 grabs, 1,124 yards, 9 touchdowns, screams Vikings potential. He's got the size, the hands, and the athleticism to be a day 2 steal. Imagine him opposite Jefferson, giving J.J. McCarthy a towering target to sling it to. My pulse is racing just picturing it. But here's the twist. Will he even be there when we pick? The draft's a wild ride, and someone could snag him early. That's the suspense that's got me hooked. Every mock draft I see has me second-guessing. Could Felton be the depth piece we crave? Or is he too good to fall to us? What do you think? Fam, day 2 dream or pipe dream? And don't forget, hundreds of prospects are on the Vikings' radar. Felton's just one name, but he's the kind that gets fans like us buzzing. The pre-draft process is a treasure hunt, and I'm dying to see who we unearth. Drop your favorite sleeper pick below. Let's keep this fire going. Alright, Vikings diehards, let's pivot to Dorian Singer. This Utah wideout had 702 yards last season, but back in 2022 at Arizona, a monster 1,105-yard breakout. He's got that proven upside, and I'm salivating at the thought of him in purple. Could he be the mid-round gem we sneak in to bolster our depth? Here's the drama. Singer's production dipped last year. Why? Was it scheme? Injury? Opportunity? That's the mystery I want solved before draft day. If the Vikings snag him, are we getting the 2022 stud or the 2023 question mark? It's a gamble that's got my adrenaline pumping. What's your gut say, Skol fam? The beauty of this draft class is the variety. Singer's not a household name yet, but he could be a sleeper hit. Pair him with Jefferson and Addison, and suddenly our receiver room's a nightmare for defenses. Can you feel the tension building? Tell me your take in the comments. I'm on edge. Purple people eaters. Meet Monterey Baldwin. This 5 feet 9 inches Baylor speed demon's been clocking at least 478 yards and 4 touchdowns every year for the last 3 seasons. He's small, sure, but he's a lightning bolt. Think Rondale Moore with an extra gear. Could he be our late-round spark plug? Now, here's the cliffhanger. Size matters in the NFL, and Baldwin's not your classic big-bodied receiver. Will that scare the Vikings off, or will they see him as a mismatch nightmare? I'm torn, fam. His tape's electric, but the risk is real. What's your call? Late-round flyer or pass? The draft's a roller coaster, and Baldwin's the kind of pick that could send us screaming with joy or regret. With only 4 picks, every choice is gold. I'm counting down to day 3, praying we find a diamond like him. Who's your under-the-radar fave? Hit me up below. Skol crew, let's pull back the curtain. The Vikings have been all over these pre-draft events: Senior Bowl, Shrine Bowl, NFL Combine, Pro Days, Top 30 visits. They're meeting hundreds of prospects, and wide receivers quietly simmering on that list. It's not the loudest need, but it's there, teasing us with possibilities. Goesling's words keep echoing in my head. They've sniffed around in that WR world. That's the breadcrumb trail I'm following. Are they eyeing a specific guy? A type? The suspense is torture, and I'm loving every second of it. What's your theory? Big splash or subtle move? Lay it out in the comments. With so many names in play, the Vikings could surprise us all. Maybe it's Felton, Singer, Baldwin, or someone we haven't even clocked yet. April 24th is coming fast, and I'm glued to Vikings news like it's my job. What's got you hyped, fam? Let's keep this vibe alive. Hey, Vikings tribe, let's talk stakes. Jordan Addison's contract clock is ticking. Year 3's a big one, and we've got decisions looming. If he balls out, he's expensive. If he stumbles, we're scrambling. That's why this draft matters. It's our safety net, our depth play, our future. Picture this nightmare. Addison walks in 2026, and we're thin at receiver. Or this dream. A mid-round pick steps up, learns from Jefferson, and suddenly we're loaded for years. That's the tightrope the Vikings are walking, and I'm sweating every step. What's your biggest worry here, Skol fans? The draft's our chance to stack the deck. Wide receivers are everywhere this year. Early rounds, late rounds, doesn't matter. The Vikings could pounce anywhere, and I'm counting on Kwesi to nail it. Tell me your boldest draft move in the comments. I'm ready to cheer. Skol Nation, let's dream big. Imagine it's day 3, the Vikings are on the clock, and a guy like Monterey Baldwin's still there. We grab him, he hits camp, and boom, electricity in the air. That's the kind of late-round magic that turns good teams into great ones, and I'm craving it. But here's the twist. What if we miss? What if the board falls wrong, and we're left with scraps? That's the draft's cruel game, fam. Highs and lows in every pick. With only 4 shots, the pressure's on. Can you handle the suspense? What's your dream pick, Vikings fans? This is why I live for Vikings news. Every rumor, every visit, every whisper builds the story. Wide receiver might not be the headline, but it's the subplot I can't shake. Drop your wildest day 3 vision below. Let's build this hype together. Alright, Purple fam, let's zoom out. The Vikings don't need a wide receiver to save 2025. Jefferson, Addison, Naylor, Moore, Jones, they've got us covered. But depth? Future-proofing? That's where this draft sneaks in. It's not loud, it's not urgent, but it's smart, and I'm all in for it. Think about the NFL. Teams with stacked receiver rooms win big. The Vikings could join that club with one slick move. Will it be a day 2 stud like Felton? A day 3 flyer like Baldwin? The unknown's killing me and I'm loving the ride. What's your hunch, Skull Squad? April 24th is our Super Bowl right now, and I'm counting every second. The Vikings are plotting and we're along for the chase. What's the one name you want in purple? Shout it in the comments. Let's make some noise. Skull Warriors. Let's wrap this with some fire. Wide receivers are sneaky storyline this draft. Not the main event, but the twist that could steal the show. From Felton's size to Singer's upside to Baldwin's speed. The options are endless, and I'm losing my mind over it. Here's the stakes. Get it right and we're golden for years. Get it wrong and 2020 SIXS a headache. The Vikings know this, they're sniffing around, and I'm trusting the process. What's the one thing you want from this draft, fam? Lay it on me. I'm dying to know. So, Vikings faithful, let's keep the energy high. Hit that like button if you're pumped. Drop your hottest takes in the comments. Subscribe for more Vikings news, and share this with your Skull crew. April's coming, and we're ready to roar. Skull. Hey, Purple Posse, one last thing. I've been scouring the web, and the Vikings official site and Vikings news are quiet on any bombshell updates since March 29th. No new receiver visits leaked, no blockbuster rumors. Yet, if something breaks, I'll scream it from the rooftops. But for now, we're riding this wave of hype. Let's recap. Jefferson and Addison are our core, but depth's the mission. This draft's our shot to lock it in middle rounds, late rounds, whatever it takes. Who's your dark horse pick, Skull fans? Keep those comments coming. I'm glued to this story. All right, fam, it's your turn. Let's make this a Vikings party. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Let's blow up the internet with purple pride. Skull forever, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay loud, stay passionate, and let's get ready for draft day.